Okay, we are ready to talk about the aroma roller techniques. I'm super excited that you're here. I appreciate seeing faces that I can. And oh, everybody just take a deep breath, and just let it out, right? So there are moments in life when the body feels overwhelmed. Things, symptoms and signs of this is your digestion might feel off. Your sleep becomes spotty. Stress sits in your shoulders, right across the shoulder blades, right? Or maybe you feel like the weight of the world is on you and you just feel, oh, or your emotions feel just under the surface. And every little thing or any little thing might just set those off. And then all of that traces back to one central place, which is our nervous system. And so it is really important to learn to manage that and to calm our nervous system. So give me a one or a thumbs up in the, well, tell me a one in the chat if you lately have noticed that maybe you're feeling tired, yet you're wired. So your body feels tired, your brain feels tired, but it will not rest. It just is like, do, 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 and you got all the things going on. Okay. Or again, just tell me one. And you can keep saying ones if this is you. Maybe you find yourself waking up between 2 to 4 a.m. every morning or a lot of mornings. Maybe you have tight shoulders or neck tension, um, digestive discomfort. Maybe you're feeling easily overwhelmed or have trouble relaxing fully, even when life is fine, right? And I will tell you that was me, and it all came to a head on Monday, where my body physically. I had to release, and I had done this technique with these rollers. I'll fill you in more on this later, but I physically like I had to let it go and release. And, because these are all of those things are signs that your nervous system is stuck on high alert, which is that fight, flight, or freeze, right? But it's like, okay, what's good? What's coming next? What's coming next? And that's where oftentimes I think that we don't even realize how stressed we are because it's our normal, right? And it's just how we live our life. And hopefully this isn't you. Um, but I think that most of us, because we're just constantly bombarded with information and I was looking for my phone, but with our phones, right? We're constantly tuned into this. And we oftentimes don't give our body time to rest and to relax and just to breathe. So, nervous system support isn't just about what we apply externally, it's also about what we give the body internally. And topical support, so you could put on an oil, and when I'm really stressed, oftentimes I put stress away on, which is great for topically, but the body also needs internal resources to do the repair work and function well. So, our body actually needs nutrient support, cellular energy, healthy blood sugar balance, adrenal support, and antioxidant protection. And this is where daily wellness habits become super powerful. So I'm actually going to talk a little bit about those too, because I don't know if you know this, but Young Living has a few systems that are incredible to really support the body both internally as well as externally. Okay. So Gary created this technique called the neuroauricular technique to support communication between the brain and the body. Now, the important thing to know is that it doesn't force change. It gently encourages the brainstem and the upper spine to reconnect and communicate more clearly, helping the body remember how to regulate itself. So the base of the skull, so kind of right back here, think about your, at the bottom of your hairline and feel across your the from your ear going into your skull, you can feel that mastoid bone, right? That bone that holds, it's a protection for your head. So this base of the skull is a major neurological crossroads that influences your heart rhythm, your digestion, muscle tension, and emotional regulation. And it's also where many cranial nerves begin, which are the direct communication lines between your brain and your body. So when you feel those tight shoulders, neck tension, digestive discomfort, just overall stress that doesn't, that overwhelm and that tightness, those are all it's indicating everything's just connected. So again, we live in a world where many of us stay stuck in fight or flight, and you can think of your nervous system like your home's electrical panel. When too many breakers overload, what happens? Lights start to flicker, right? Your power might go out off. Some systems might shut down and others overcompensate. So our body does the same thing. Instead of saying, I need rest, it might say, I can't sleep. Or, your digestion is off, feels off. My shoulders won't relax. I'm walking around like this with them up to my ears. Maybe your body says you're anxious for no obvious reason. So the body is always communicating. We just have to tune in and pay attention, right? Now, when stress stays elevated, the body sends signals to your adrenals, your muscles tighten, your digestion slows or stops, your cortisol rises, and the body shifts into survival mode. For many of us, this switch again, it's that fight, flight, freeze, that's survival mode, okay? And for many of us, that switch never fully turns off again. So this again can just feed into all of those things that we've already talked about. And we want to shift into rest and digest, which activates the sympathetic state. And it lets the body breathe and relax and to rest, truly. So when the body stays stuck in stress mode, cortisol often stays elevated. And when cortisol stays elevated, your blood sugar becomes less stable, your cravings can increase, energy crashes happen, and the body tends to hold on to inflammation and stored weight. So this is one reason why so many people can feel like they're doing all the right things, but still feel stuck, and why the internal metabolic support matters. So when blood sugar becomes less stable, the nervous system often feels less safe and more reactive. And you guys, I don't know if you know this, but we have this special system that they came out with in January called Balance and Burn. And it can really help support that healthy metabolic flexibility. So it can turn the switches on and off easier. It can help support blood sugar levels, reduce your food cravings, give you steadier energy. And then when energy is more stable, the body often feels calmer and feels more regulated, and you can breathe. Okay. So we're going to talk about one very important nerve that plays a part in all of this, which is the vagus nerve. And it's actually the longest cranial nerve in the body. It connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your digestive support, and hormonal pathways. And it helps to calm the body. When it's functioning well, you feel grounded, calm, and regulated. And when it's not, your body often stays stuck in that stress mode. So again, we can gently stimulate this pathway, especially here at the base of the skull, helping to bring the body back into balance. So there's a small area in the brain called the locus coeruleus, which is your body's switching station. And when supported, everything flows better. Now, the beautiful part is that the body responds incredibly well to simple, consistent signals of safety. So we're not trying to fix the body. We're, again, reminding it that it's safe, that it can soften. We can regulate. The body, we're giving the body permission to relax and to regulate. And that's what this technique helps to encourage. Now, this aroma technique that Gary created initially was done using a probe along the base of the skull and down the neck. And it was usually done in a giver-receiver capacity, which can be intimidating if you don't really know how to do it right? And or we always think, well, I got to be taught before I can do something. And it can be inconvenient because you may not have somebody available that can do this for you, or that would be interested in doing this for you, right? So today with this, I'm going to teach you a simple self-care version that you can do. And again, ideally you have your roller bottles that you can do it with. But if you don't have your roller bottles, you can also do it with just the regular bottles. Okay. So before we start, and I'm going to teach this to you, again, notice your posture before we start. Okay. So are your shoulders back and relaxed, or are they up at your ears, right? Are you hunched over? Do you sit a lot of times like this? When we're spending all of our time on our phone, our neck starts bending down. We're looking down a lot. When we're driving, right, our shoulders come forward. They hunch together, or they hunch forward. And sitting at a computer, certainly it hunches, or we're in a different spot than what our body is really created to be in. So all of these activities that a lot of us spend a lot of time doing compresses the neck and the shoulders. And underneath those layers are the brainstem, your spinal cord, your cranial nerves, and pathways that affect your breathing, digestion, and hormones. When we're under stress, we get an adrenaline rush, which shuts off your digestion. And the body puts its focus into your muscles for fight and flight. So you may notice that those big trap muscles right across your shoulders, right across here, are really tight. Um, and that again is an indication of the body in fight, flight, overwhelm, stress, and dis-ease, right? It's not that you're sick, not disease, but dis-ease. It's not at ease. Okay. So again, we want to spend more time in rest and digest, which deactivates that sympathetic nervous system and activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So what we're going to do today, this technique brings space, movement, and support back to this area and to really the whole body. So we're going to start with Valor. If you have Valor, if you don't have Valor, you could use again frankincense or gosh, I'm just trying to think of what else I might have here. Um, Kid Power might be a good one if you have Kid Power. Um, I don't know, I can't think of the others. So you can do this. I like to use it as a roller. Okay, if you don't have it as a roller, oh, do I have a Valor close? Okay, if you don't have a roller, I'm just going to show you with a regular bottle. And I would probably put maybe 3 or 4 drops in your hand. Okay, if you don't have a roller. Well, maybe this bottle's about empty. So hopefully we can get some, yep, 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to do 3. So I don't know if you can see, I've got some oil here. Okay. And then I would just kind of, every time we want to do this to apply, you want to activate the oil. So 3 times clockwise. And then you're going to take your just your finger, one of your fingers, or you're going to take your roller, okay? And we're going to start here at the mastoid bone by the right side, and we're going to do little circles here and going in, follow that mastoid bone into the middle of your brainstem, okay? So you're going to do this 3 times. If you're doing it with your fingers, again, I'm just going to reactivate it, and I'm going to do these little circles here, okay, and then reactivate it each time, okay? So here we go. This actually will feel really good. You're doing it right into that bone, right side, just into the middle, okay, 3 times. Then again, if you're using the not a roller, put it in your left hand then, and you're going to do it with your left hand, or activate with your left fingers. I'm going to go back to the roller now, and so now I'm going to start over here on my left side, and I'm going to do my little circles just in along that mastoid bone. And so if you have a lot of hair, you're going to do it in your hair. Your hair's going to smell amazing into the middle, and you're going to do this 3 times. Okay. Now, those of you who have your picture on, thank you for showing me, and I will kind of move on to the next step according to how you guys are doing, okay? All right, so now still staying with Valor, okay? We're gonna go onto our spinal column, so you can feel where your spine is, okay? And I'll do this so that you can see this. Hopefully you can still hear me fine. And so you're going to go down as far as you can reach, and on the right side of your spinal column, you're going to do little circles going up into, again, the middle section in your neck, okay? And we're going to do that 3 times. Okay, so I did that 3 times on my right side, and then guess what we're going to do now? Three times on the left side, right? So go ahead and do that. Now, if you have it on your hands, or maybe you even just roll a little bit on your hands now, and then just smell it. Okay, so cup it over your nose and mouth, breathe in deep, hold it. Maybe hold it for a count of 4 or 5, and then release, exhale for a count of, well, 4 to 6. Okay, so breathe it in for a count of 4, hold for 4, release for 4 to 6. Okay, now this is a great one. Valor is amazing because it helps support relaxation, confidence, and it helps release physical tension. Emotionally, valor helps with aggression, defensiveness, fear of conflict, inability to cope, feeling like you're losing a battle, feelings of persecution, resignation, appearing weak, maybe a fear of appearing weak or feeling withdrawn. Isn't that amazing? All those things that it can help with, right? Um, it's often called the courage blend, but neurologically, it's known for helping support alignment and grounding. And many people notice just by putting Valor on, and you can certainly rub it in. Many people notice deeper breathing because, again, as we're focusing on that and we're breathing that in and allowing it to really get into our limbic system, you have that deeper breathing and then less shoulder tension, right? Your shoulders may relax. You might feel a greater sense of steadiness. And valor is kind of like telling the body to, it's time to recalibrate. It's time to relax. Now, Monday I had a uh, incident. We were driving home and I was really upset about something. And I rolled stress away all over. And it just was like physically, I could just feel how tight my shoulders and my neck was super tight. And stress away was not doing it. And then I thought, all right, I have the technique. I have those bottles. I should just do the whole technique. And so I got my Valor out. And as soon as you guys, I started rolling this on and did all those and up my spine too, I physically felt my body relax and shift. I mean, it was just, and almost instantly, as soon as I got all, the oils on, and really even after I got them on my neck, I felt the tension start to drain from my neck. So this is a super, super um, powerful oil. Now we're going to go to deep relief next. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to start here on the right side and behind your ear, and you're going to do little circles into the middle, up into the brainstem. Okay. So, and you'll notice that so like, let me show you here. If this is straight across, we're not going straight across. We're kind of doing it at an angle and it goes up in the middle. Okay. So we're going to do this 3 times. And on the right, now I'm sorry, deep relief. This is what we're using now, and do 3 times on the left. Deep relief supports muscle release and comfort. Emotionally, it helps with the fear of emotions. Some of us are like, I don't want, this is me. I don't want to have emotions. I don't want to feel this. I'm just going to shove it down, right? I'm internalizing it. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one here, but I doubt it. It also helps with exhaustion and pain. And oftentimes pain is not a surprise for most of us because we know deep relief is great for pain, but did you know it's good for exhaustion? And so think about when you're under stress, how tired is your body? Like, isn't it just like, oh, I'm just so tired oftentimes, right? And so deep relief can help with that. All right, so now we're gonna go on the right side of the spine. I don't know if I need to turn around again or not. And up. So 3 times on the right. And then 3 times on your left. So deep relief also is your physical comfort support. It helps bring awareness and circulation to areas where tension gets stored. And isn't it often stored in our back and neck, right? Often emotional stress becomes physical tension before we even realize that we're stressed. Now, I went to the chiropractor today, and he spent a lot of time Guess where? Right across here, right across this area that we're working on today. Because, and it's just all that tension. And again, the stress was Monday, today's Thursday, and yet my body is still dealing with all of that, right? It's still dealing with the emotion, even though I did have a huge physical emotional release on Monday. But I probably need to have more. That's what that tells me is that one time is probably not enough, just like using oils. One time is not enough, right? All right. So again, I want you to breathe these in. Take time to allow, just really breathe in deep relief. Do you smell those different oils? Can you smell the peppermint? Is it kind of opening up your breathing and your airways? Maybe it has wintergreen in it. It has what else? Oh, it has lemon. Can you smell the lemon or grand fir? It has copaiba um and vetiver. There's 9 oils in this one. So it's a great, I love this. I love deep relief for sure. And then kind of just move your neck around. Are you feeling a little bit looser? Do you feel like, oh, it's not, I have less tension there? Really again, and breathe as you're doing this, but think about how is my body responding? So now we've layered 2 oils. Did you notice a shift when you put Valor on? And then now, like right now for me, I'm getting that cooling effect from the peppermint and from the wintergreen, right? And so again, my body can just kind of relax and cool. And then we're going to add stress away. Okay, so this is our last oil that we're going to do. And again, we're just repeat it right here from the on the right side, rolling your little circles in and 3 times on the right. Stress away supports emotional relaxation and calming. And emotionally, it really helps with feelings of cruelty or maybe, being picked on, that kind of a thing. Go to your left side. This blend helps signal your body to exhale. And that's one of the things that I love about Stress Away. We nicknamed it vacation in a bottle, right? Because what happens when you're on vacation? Oh, exhale. We allow that release and that relaxation. And so I love that we have an oil that can help with this. Okay. So do it on your neck and then go ahead and do your spine on the right side coming up. Um, so stress away helps support the emotional side of release. And sometimes the body lets go physically first, and then the emotions follow, which is what happened to me on Monday. Okay. Once you've done the right side, go ahead and do the left side coming up. So reach down as far as you can on your spine and 3 times. And remember, as we roll, go ahead and inhale. So breathe in for 4, count of 4, hold for 4, and then exhale for 4 to 6. Longer exhales signal safety to your vagus nerve. So it tells your body it's okay. I'm safe. You can relax. We're in a good spot, right? We're safe. And oftentimes we don't have physically have something, that's threatening us. Like there's not a bear that's going to just come into my house, right? But I might see something here that upsets me, or I might see, I might be just dealing with something else. And if I don't allow my body to remind my body, it's okay, I'm safe, then it can't calm. Oftentimes it can't or won't calm down. So, again, what do you feel? What do you feel now? Again, move your neck. Can you move it a little bit farther? Can you move it up and down without pain? Maybe. Is there still discomfort? I still have some discomfort right here, in my shoulder blade area. So it tells me, okay, I need to continue to work on that, right? I need to continue to give that attention and to breathe in these oils and allow my body to respond and to relax. Does one side maybe feel different? My left side definitely feels more relaxed than my right side tonight. And do you feel a warmth or a softening or a release in your body? Maybe part of that release or that softening is emotionally, mentally, I feel calmer, right? Oh, I can breathe. I can relax. I can breathe out and I can exhale. That's what the word is, right? Sometimes people notice when they do this, they might notice a yawn or a swallow, maybe a sigh, watery eyes, or even a deep breath. Like all of a sudden, I can really, oh, right? And those are all signs that the nervous system is shifting. So, have I would love to hear, or you can go ahead and put it in the chat if you want, if you've noticed any connection between your body and your stress levels now. Okay. Again, on Monday, I did this in the car on the way home and I thought I was okay. But I was like, my emotions were right under the surface, right? It was still right there. And I got home and I tried to do some things. And, I'm a ruminator. So, if I'm upset about something, I think about it a whole lot more. And as I was trying to I was actually trying to put up a shelf. And I thought, okay, this isn't going very well. So then I started emptying the dishwasher, right? Because I got to do something. I've got to, and all of a sudden, physically, I could just feel everything tightening up, like I needed to release. And so I actually walked outside and I just allowed my body to cry. And I allowed my body to just breathe and to let go. And again, I don't think I could have done that if I wouldn't have done this technique first to remind my body it's safe because you don't cry and you're not vulnerable if you're not safe, right? You have all your defenses up and all of your stuff. And this time I was able to, like my body just needed that physical release. Now, I've done this technique hundreds of times and I've never cried before. So don't think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go cry and have this big release. Probably not, but maybe, and if you do, it's okay because you've just given your body that safety and that permission that it's okay to feel and to let go. So, this technique works best through repetition, and consistency creates familiarity, and that creates safety. So, even 60 seconds a day can help teach the body a new pattern. And you guys, we did this. I mean, it's been a half an hour, and most of this time has been me talking. This technique we did in less than 5 minutes, probably. Um, so, I want you to think about, uh, you know, how can I do this and implement this into maybe your day or into your weekly schedule. Okay, so think about you maybe have heard the term habit stacking, and this is adding something new to something that you already do. So think about where this technique with these three rollers could fit into your day. Maybe you could do it before you go to bed at night, especially if you usually are stressed, or instead of watching TV and the news, which is probably not going to calm you down. Maybe, as you brush your teeth and then you do your technique. Okay. Maybe it's first thing in the morning while you make your coffee or you're waiting for the coffee to make or the water to heat for your tea, maybe, that you do this little technique. Or you do it at lunch, especially if you can go leave your office or leave your work and maybe you just do this little technique. You'll smell amazing when you go back inside, I will say, and you'll be a great diffuser, human diffuser for your coworkers. So, you know, it's an easy technique and creating it, doing it daily, especially at first, really gives your body that safety, the clues and the cues that we're safe, where it's okay. So many people notice that when they consistently combine nervous system and metabolic and cellular support, so with like adding in balance and bird and really helping to support the body internally, adding in Ningxia Red, which is that antioxidant, and it helps both of those products help to cleanse the body, help the body to release. They help support the digestion, which again will help trigger the nervous system that things are safe because it's digesting, it's releasing, it's processing well. And so when you combine these things, that many people notice more steady energy, better resilience to stress, so you're not so reactive, fewer afternoon crashes, hopefully improved sleep sleep, or hopefully you will all sleep well tonight, and feeling more regulated overall because the body works as an integrated system. It's not just, oftentimes I think, we think, or I think at least, well, this is just this is happening, but it's just affecting this area. Or it's not affecting, me internally, but it does, right? And if something, if we're upset mentally and here, it affects our whole body because and especially if we don't deal with it, it definitely affects the whole body. So if this felt good today to you and for you, imagine what consistent support could do for you. Okay. And if someone came to mind while we were doing this, that may be your nudge to share because healing tools are made to be shared. So, a couple simple, easy ways you could share this technique with somebody is to maybe you just teach them. You have your three rollers, right? And you say, "This is follow me." And so you do Valor, on your neck, you hand them the bottle. Did you know you could share your oils? You could share even the bottles, because the oils are cleansing and they will cleanse the roller as you roll. So you don't have to worry about sharing bad stuff, right? And so you could do that and then they hand it back to you. And then you do the spine, on both sides, hand it to them. So you're showing them and doing it with them. And then it's not maybe quite so weird, that, oftentimes we think like, yeah, you want me to do this, but you're not doing it? No, thank you. So that's one way you can do it. You could also make little sample bottles for people, right? And these are little roller bottles that I got on Amazon. So I put, I don't know, 10 drops of oil in these probably, and then fill them with V6. So they're pretty diluted down, but people still benefit from this. I made little labels. You can buy little labels as well. And I threw them in a little bag and you can gift this to someone or sell it to somebody for, I usually sell them for $10 because that covers my cost of the bottles as well as the oils. Okay. So this is a great little easy way to share. And you might be surprised at how many people really need nervous system support and they need to pull their body out of fight flight. So you could also share by simply sending somebody a text and say, "Hey, I was thinking I did this technique tonight. I learned this technique about, it's a stress relaxation technique, and I thought of you. Are you interested in learning? Can I drop you off a sample or can I teach you how to do it?" It doesn't have to be weird and it doesn't have to be a class, and you don't have to tell them all the extra information I told you. You can just say, "I learned this. I thought about you." Or, like tomorrow when somebody's at work and they're like, you can tell they're just, you can just say, "Hey, I learned this technique last night. It helped me a lot. I slept amazing," because you will, I believe. Can I share it with you? Right. And if they say no, okay, that saves you the oil, right? If they say yes, you may just change a life, truly. Okay. We often want one thing, to do one, like we want the quick, easy fix right now. And this is a great way to start on that. And sharing it is truly a great way to offer hope to somebody and also just to let them know that you really care. So our body, remember, is designed for balance, and sometimes it just needs a gentle reminder of the way back to balance. So, if any of this resonated with you and you're not currently a Young Living member, I want you to get back with whoever shared this video with you or invited you to this class and tell them, "Hey, first of all, if you didn't try this, tell them I want to try that technique and see what happens and how my body responds." But when you get started with Young Living, I mean, you can just get started with these three oils. Even better deals are the premium starter kit, which would have 12 oils for you, and these are in there deep. You would get Panaway, which you could use in replace of Deep Relief, which is amazing. Or you could even get started with the Make a Shift oils, and you actually get the Deep Relief and Stress Away roller bottles in that one. And You could probably use lavender to start with instead of Valor, or just add that on. But both of those also create a membership for you and opens, well, it opens an account for you is what it does. And then you can get wholesale pricing for 12 months, which is amazing. The other really great thing about it is when you open your own account with Young Living, you get a huge community of people who want your success. And that will teach you amazing techniques and amazing information so that you can really be empowered to take control of your health and wellness and make better choices. So, if this is at all of interest to you, get back to whoever shared this with you, and we can't wait to welcome you into our community. Have a good night.